Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Mindshare podcast. This show is sponsored by Kits Keep in Touch Systems, a two-time international award-winning marketing suite for sales professionals. REM Real Estate Magazine, Canada's premier monthly magazine for real estate professionals. And Gray Media, Ontario's premier social media management, marketing, and content creation company. Learn more about our sponsors by visiting my website, mindshare101.com. And while you're there, be sure to download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle for Realtors and as well learn more about our one-to-one coaching program. Today's episode is number 221. She's been a successful realtor serving Greater Toronto area for more than a decade. Her love for real estate began when a friend who was selling their home needed help with repairs and staging the house. It was at that moment that she had her aha moment and realized her calling, which is to help individuals facilitate one of the largest transactions of their lives in buying and selling real estate. Her love of interior design and fashion has fueled within her a strong desire to pursue a career that would combine her sense of style and her love of real estate. And her work ethic and commitment to her clients are unparalleled. She is a ninja when it comes to multitasking. No stranger to flipping properties, she has a wealth of knowledge from the foundation of a house to the fine details that go into choosing the appropriate flooring, tiles, and finishes. Her interior design and staging skills have been featured on HGTV's popular shows such as One House, Two Looks and Whose Design Is It Anyway? Joining me on this episode of the Mindshare podcast is award-winning realtor Michelle Huron.
Wow.
Welcome to the Mindshare podcast.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Hey, that's we're excited to have you
Do
here.
I feel special?
You should. Yeah, I feel special. I'm excited that you're here today. I appreciate you making the time.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No, it's definitely an honor to have you here. And you know, one of the things that you saw that like the way we titled the episode, and it blows me away. And we'll build up to this, but is all the idea about how you close deals from the beach in Aruba, because I think it's amazing to be able to follow you on Instagram. And by the way, if everybody is not following her, go find her on Instagram right now, Michelle Huron. I'm watching the stories and I'll see you like hanging out with flamingos and like, palm trees. And then all of a sudden you're like writing a deal. And I'm like, yo, this is awesome. So it's, I think there's a cool story. There's a very cool story there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But tell me, real estate market, as we talk about that, there's a lot of talk about this in the media right now. There's a lot going on out there, whether or not is it a good market? Is it a bad market? What do you have to say about the state of our real estate market? I mean, I could say here in Toronto, which is where you focus, obviously.
Right.
But what do you think about the market right now? Are we good, bad, normal?
It's tough. The stats are saying that the market is not doing well.
Right.
It's low, but there are a lot of buyers out there. There's still a lot of buyers. Some people have to buy. They've sold their properties. They've been renting with parents. They're in renting basements. They need a place to live. And the issue is there's not enough listings on the market. So now what we're seeing is, at least what I'm seeing, is that there's one or two offers on one property. Not like, back in early 2022.
Right.
But, some of the listings I've had multiple offers.
Recently, you mean?
Recently, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not everywhere. I would say it's pockets of, it depends where the property is, the location.
Yeah. I've been hearing that from people.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that we know that sort of, let's say January into like mid-February was still kind of quiet.
Right.
We then saw, and I've been hearing it a lot lately, where over the past 2-3 weeks, like multiple offers people are running into, listings are still not like popping off like crazy, but we're seeing the buyers are coming out of the woodwork.
Yes.
I've said this to you privately, and I'll say it to anybody. I mean, not that it's a big deal, but I think the blue skies are what are really helping. And I think that as the good weather comes around, we're going to find more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What do you think about, like, when we look at that, are we poised for a busy spring market based on all of that?
I think so. I think buyers are getting more used to the interest rates being high.
Mhm.
and they're adjusting their budgets accordingly, right? And I believe, yeah, I think the market's going to come back stronger. I do. Yeah. For the spring,
Yeah.
yes. Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. That's listen, it's a positive outlook for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, like I just said, I think with the good weather coming around, I
Yeah.
think we're gonna come out of the woodwork. And I think that right now too is like, this is one of those moments too where if there is anybody that's on the fence with putting their house up for sale, I would suggest that right now is the time.
Yes.
Because as we approach, let's say the April, May months,
Right.
we're gonna see even more listings come to light, which I imagine come to market.
Yep.
Now means that there's additional supply. Demand is there, but there's more options for people, and therefore maybe you're not running into a multiple situation. Maybe you're not getting, as
Yeah. Yeah.
a sale price as you were looking for just based on,
Correct.
So I think now is the time for people to get out there and start doing something. But,
Yes.
as we talk to people, what are you hearing from people? What are you hearing from the clients you're talking to? What are you hearing? What are they saying about like the right now? Maybe why they're not doing anything right now?
Oh, some people are saying, "Oh, we're gonna watch the market."
Yeah.
I actually had a call just, 30 minutes before we got on here, and this gentleman was saying, they're still gonna wait. The market's gonna come down. We're gonna wait. And it's like, it's not gonna happen.
I was gonna
Oh
say,
yeah,
is that what they're waiting for? Is it
yeah,
for the market to
yeah.
come
That's,
down?
that's yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people saying we're going into a recession. The housing market's gonna crash. This is what I'm hearing from some people. Yeah,
Right. And so
yeah,
what do you say to people when they say that? Like if I said to you like, "Hey, you're talking to me and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm just gonna wait. I think the market's coming down or
Mhm.
or I'm gonna see what happens with interest rates, but I'm gonna wait." What
I
what
pull
strategy, what approach do you take?
I pull an analysis and I show them the stats. Like I meet with them, I say, "Can I please show you what is really happening in the market?" And I
Right.
show them the stats and I'll say, "Does this look like the market's gonna crash?" You know? Yeah,
So
yeah.
what kind of identifiers do you try to pull on for them that
I
they would
pull
look at?
I pull from, the Treb. I pull,
Mhm.
the charts because there's some charts that shows that the market is coming down, the
Right.
market's going down, but then you see how much the properties are selling for, you know? Combine the 2. Yeah.
Right. And then from there, like, are you getting any futures out of that? Like, does it show you kind of predictions? Like, are they making predictions in some of those? Or are you able to walk through with your clients of like,
It's hard to
you
do
know
a prediction right now. It's very
Right.
hard. It's all month to month, really,
Right.
so I show previous months, right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So it's sort of going back in time and sort of saying like, this is what's been happening recently.
Yes,
And,
yeah.
I look, I think if we look at that too and think
Mhm.
the past couple of months, even 2, 3, 4 months has been very different than what they were, let's say, 2020, 21, the height of 20,
Right.
that,
Yeah, yeah,
the height of it all. It's very different now. But I think at the same time too, leveraging some of these numbers where things are slower, things are lower, not
yeah.
bad, but
Mhm.
leveraging that to paint some realities around where we're going
Yeah.
is helpful for people because now we're not comparing today to like 60 days ago of
That's
like
yeah, no,
ridiculously
you
high,
can't. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
completely different market.
Month to month, it's changing every month. Yeah.
So tell me this. When we look at what's going on with the clients and we look at what's going on with the market,
Mhm.
you, regardless of whatever's going on out there, you've been recognized several times over in your office for your production levels.
Yes, yeah.
First, a big congratulations to you. That's totally exciting
Thank
stuff.
you, thank
That is
you. That was
amazing.
that was cool, surprising, it just was amazing.
What are you doing to drive consistent business? Because I think that that's one of the things that a lot of people, especially when I'm working with coaching clients or when
Yeah,
I'm, speaking to anybody and doing any type of group training, a lot of times what people are looking for is to try to build out a system
yes.
that's going to help them drive that consistency. And I think it's like any of us in any business that we're in, we always
Mhm.
want that consistency. So,
Yeah, we
what are
do.
you doing to drive consistent business?
Honestly, David, mine starts first thing in the morning. What I do in the morning, I get
Tell
my
us about
mind
that.
straight.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I thank my God for life, for having another day, and then I prepare myself. I go to the gym and I work my ass off. I work my butt off. And for me, soon as I finish at that gym, whatever workout I'm doing or training, strengthening, whatever I'm doing, it prepares me for the day. And it's like, bring it on,
Love
Because
that.
yes, there's some days that can be super challenging, but honestly, yeah, that's how my day starts is with the gym. And then
So
from there on,
yeah.
go on. Go ahead.
Yeah, no,
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say like a good morning routine.
Yeah, yeah, good morning routine, yeah. And then from there, that's when I hit my CRM, and check out what has to be, who I have to call, who I have to contact, who I have to follow up with, yeah,
Okay,
mind share.
okay.
Mhm.
And then as you're going through and you're making calls and you're going through the scheduling, so you're really operating the schedule throughout the day.
Yes. Yes, I am.
And
Yeah.
are there a lot of the actions that you're taking throughout the day? Are they, the actions you took today, like was it very similar day yesterday?
Yes, it was 100%.
Yeah. And then how
100%.
do you I mean, does any of it get like completely monotonous?
Um, Not really, no. No, because I have a goal, right?
Okay.
I have goals, my goals, and when you have a goal and you do step by step by step and you see the progression, what's happening, you follow the process. It just everything falls into place and it makes you feel good and you want to do more. You want to achieve more.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that tie together with the goals,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, and I mean, this is something we impress upon people on a regular basis is like
Mhm.
the morning routine is so crucial because if we're
Yep.
not doing the right things in the morning, we could set our entire day off in a bad
Yes.
path, right?
Yes. Yeah. All it
And
takes
then
is one bad phone call. Yep.
right? And
Yep.
then it's like, it could be one bad phone call, it could
Yep.
be one bad email, it could be
Yep.
a social media post that we saw from somebody else that like we looked in and said, I didn't want to see that necessarily, or like I shouldn't have seen that, or that just
Right.
impacted
Yep.
my mind in the wrong way, right?
Mhm. Yep.
But then tracking the goals on a sort of hour by hour basis, right? And
Yeah.
constantly looking at that, like, so you're saying that's your driver, that's what's pushing you on a
Yes.
regular basis,
Right. Yep.
right? And
Yep.
then that's
Yep.
what's again, and it's interesting because you're focused on your personal goals.
Yep.
That's helping you drive consistent business,
Right. Yep.
right? It's an
Yep.
interesting tie together there.
Yeah.
So if I
Yeah.
said to you then, like, what about the end of your
But
day?
but
Yeah,
mind you, my
yeah,
goals are on a mirror. So I see it every day. You
right.
look at yourself every day in the mirror, right?
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
So
That's a
yeah.
cool little trick.
Yeah.
So you put them right there. First place
Right.
you're looking is like,
Yeah.
this is where you look
You
and
see
goals
it.
are there.
Yeah. Yeah. With my affirmations and my
Yep.
mantras. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
Mhm.
That's a cool little idea. Kind of
Yep.
put them in like a high traffic area. It's funny because like mine
Yes.
with my vision board,
Mhm.
right? Which Jennifer so nicely created for us. And she updates it every year for us. But I've it's basically like on my wall, like right there.
Right.
So for me, when I wake up in the morning and I kind of like open my eyes and like bang, it's staring at me.
Right.
Right. So it's a really powerful reminder on like a literally like a regular basis of like,
Mhm.
that's what we're working towards.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we want,
Mhm.
you know?
That's awesome.
Um, so then when we talk about the day, what about like the end of the day? How does that kind of finish off?
The end of the day finishes off, usually about 8 o'clock, sometimes 9.
Yeah.
I need to get better at that.
Why?
And,
Like you want to make it later or you want to make it earlier?
a little bit earlier. I would like to make it a little earlier. Yeah,
See, for
yeah,
me, I'm like about 11.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, sometimes 11, yeah. Yeah, but if you have a partner and, your partner's like, "Are we having dinner today?" You know?
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah. But, yeah, so it ends off, yeah, sometimes late, and, I try to end it, on a good note, you know what I mean? Like, with, having some wins, but,
Yeah.
it's not always the case,
Right.
it's life, reality happens, right? It's reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, so the end of my day is, usually I relax with a book, or what is it called? Audible. On Audible, sometimes I
Yeah.
listen to the Audible.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I listen to that just before I go to bed, positive stuff. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily scrolling social media. It's not the sort of toxic like media stuff that's out there between mainstream media or social media, feeding your brain with that stuff. This is
Yeah,
like
I
feeding your
try
brain with
not to.
positivity.
Yeah, 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 unless somebody sends me something, you know what I mean? It's like, "Okay, I'll take a peek," I'll look, and it's like yeah. Yeah, and if I find it funny, I'll send it to someone else, yeah. But,
Right.
I try to be mindful of how long I've been on social media because that can just rob you of your time like nobody's business. Yeah.
Right. Right. Do you
Mhm.
time block social media in the schedule?
I don't. No, I
Okay.
don't. I
Okay.
don't. Oh, the main time I will do social media is if I'm doing my lunch or breakfast.
Okay.
If I'm, eating, then I'll be looking at my social media.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's
Yeah.
there's sort of like a time within your
Yeah.
mind though of when you do
Right.
attack it.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. And
Yeah,
keep the
because I'm
distractions
totally
to a
aware
minimum.
that, yeah, the distractions, it can be, yeah, can ruin your day.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So and as we
Mhm.
talk about that, like we looked at your days and we said, like, how do you drive consistent business? And you're talking about having a really strong morning routine,
Yep.
paying attention to your goals, and having a
Yes.
nice, strong nighttime routine to kind of bookend your day.
Mhm.
If we said what was your or what is your most consistent challenge in a day, and how do you deal with it? Like what's something that comes up on a regular in like the life of Michelle?
Um, there's always someone asking a question, especially when you've done a deal. There's always like one or two questions, or you have to deal with sometimes some people's emotions. Their emotions will, I hope I did the right thing. Are you sure about this? You get that little, indecisiveness, I guess, or, they want to make sure that they've done the right thing by selling their property and moving to here, right? And it's a lot of emotion, and you have to be able to be the type of agent that will listen to your client. Like, I mean, really, really listen to your
Mhm.
client, let them talk, get it off their chest, and then try to reassure them that everything's going to be okay, you know? So I deal with a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like literally like random questions or
Yes.
random phone
Yeah.
calls,
Oh, yeah.
and they're looking for, from what I'm understanding, they're looking for some reassurance from you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I love what you said there
Because
about
yeah, because they
listening.
trust you. They trust you, so they're gonna come back and ask questions, right? And
Right.
you want them to ask you the questions,
Yeah.
and you want to answer those questions, right? Because if you do that and they feel more comfortable with you, then they will refer you.
There you go. So
Yeah.
a good line, and there's another sort of another step towards the consistent flow of business that you're getting is that listening, creating a
Mhm.
strong, positive experience for your clients. They're
Yes,
now telling their friends and family about you, and now your business is growing organically because of that.
correct.
See, that's powerful. Yeah, I remember I've shared the story many times before, but I remember seeing this was
Mhm.
years ago, but it was
Mhm.
like a Facebook group and a client of mine had posted in there that like clients of hers, she couldn't believe like clients of hers were like calling her to like ask her about the colors of like paint on their wall.
Right.
And they wanted to know her opinion on like which color she liked.
Mhm.
She went off about like, why are they wasting my time? And like, that's not what I do. And I thought to myself, and I'm saying to everybody right now, like, yeah, 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 that is what you do. And that's exactly who you
Wow.
want to be. Because
Yeah.
when we look at, the sales cycle, right, we
Mhm.
want to be their trusted advisor.
Yes.
I've paralleled that exact same thing and said, like, if you came to my neighborhood and you're like,
Mhm.
hey, I'm hungry, like, where do I go get a good burger?
Yes.
And I have nothing to do with selling hamburgers.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a recommendation.
Of course.
Because if you're leaning on me to understand my opinion, that means you value what I have to say or the direction I provide.
Right.
And I've got to take that, whether it's directly in line with what I do for a living, or it's got to do with, maybe just something you need.
Yeah.
If I can help satisfy that need
Yeah.
and I'm the person that did it, you're going to continue to look at me as a trusted advisor.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where, again, I'm going to get more repeat referral business from.
Mhm. I've been
Right.
right over there with the paint chips.
Oh my god, right? Like that's why.
Yeah.
Like when I remember hearing that
Yeah.
one, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, for sure you too with the interior design
Yeah.
skills, right? Like, but
Yeah.
it's like when I heard that, I thought to myself, I'm like, no, that's the moment you want.
Yeah.
So when people are doing that, we've got to embrace that,
Yeah, you do. You
right?
really do.
Really, really
Yeah.
important.
Even if you don't have no clue, ask somebody else. You know what I mean? Go to the Benjamin Moore and ask, what's the top color?
That's right.
Google it.
Go get them the answers. a hundred
Yeah.
percent, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, that's obviously one of the things that you do incredibly well, listening to people, helping them, really understanding, taking that into consideration. So when it comes to marketing,
Yes.
what do you feel's working right now? Like working to drive new leads. You've just mentioned a few things that are working for you to generate
Mhm.
more repeat and referral business. But what do you find works for you, like when it comes to marketing specifically? And I might even preface that and say, like, in today's market
Yep.
versus let's say, in 2 years ago market.
Yes. Well, what I use right now that seems to be working is I do flyers in my area, my geo
Hmm.
farm area, and people recognize me, are starting to recognize me now. Like even when I'm, walking down the street, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, every month I hand out. Well, I don't hand out, but I use the Kids Keep in Touch system, and they send
Oh,
out
those
the
guys are
flyers.
awesome.
Aren't they?
They're the best.
Woohoo. So I use their system, and they send the flyers out, and it's always on time, and they look amazing. They look amazing. It's all
Nice.
targeted to my brand, right? And it's and the information that's in there is so valuable. I even get calls from people because I send them out to random people on my CRM as well, saying thank you for the flyer, like great
Nice.
information, and they really do send out great stuff. Yeah.
That is amazing. So you're
Mhm.
sending that out to the neighborhood.
To the neighborhood, and I have a list of in my CRM, like about, I'd say, 25% in my CRM, I send out to them
Cool.
as well. Mhm.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
And
It's been
uh,
mailed. It's being mailed out.
right.
Yeah.
And so as you say with like the flyer right now, walking through the neighborhood
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
because I know you like you're well into your fitness, you love sort of doing your workouts and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, People are recognizing you. How long have you been sending the flyer to the neighborhood? And how long would
Uh,
you say that it took? Like, or maybe what do you even have to say maybe about a little bit of advice to anybody who's thinking about sending flyers, maybe has started, has thought about
mm,
stopping? Like, just
yeah.
tell us about your experience on that,
Well, I've been
because
doing
it's
it
not an
for
overnight success.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I've been doing it for 11 months now.
Okay.
Yeah, next month will be a year, and I will continue with it because it is valuable, and it makes people in your area not think, but know that you know your stuff,
Right.
because and that you're consistent, because you continue to send out valuable information. Also, you know, in that area, in my area the geo farm area, I actually go and knock on the doors too. So people see me as well. I'm not just on a piece of paper, they actually see me, and when
Right.
they see me, it makes it more legit, right?
Yeah, totally
Yeah.
does, right?
Mhm.
And what kind of things are you saying to people at the door, like when you walk up? How are you making the connection on sort of the flyer and
Well, when I knock on the door, I'll say, "Hi, I'm Michelle Heron. I live in the neighborhood. How are you? Blah, blah, blah." If you ever need anything or have any questions regarding real estate, just let me know. I'm here to help. Like, I never pitch them at the door or anything. Nobody wants
right?
that.
Yeah,
Nobody wants that.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want
Exactly.
them to know that I'm here if you have any questions.
And
Yeah.
how receptive would you say people are to you coming to the door? Like, how many doors are you knocking before you might get that person who's like actually friendly and open to like to talking to you for a moment?
Honestly, I would say maybe every 10.
Okay.
If that, maybe a little bit lower. Yeah,
Okay.
because people see me now, they know who I am now, right? Yeah, and another thing too, like, you gotta be mindful when you're knocking on the door, you cannot be right in someone's face, you know what I mean? Even their camera's right there. It could be a little intimidating, you
Yeah.
know? So you
Yeah.
gotta remember, you gotta stand back a little bit. Give them
That's a good
room to
point.
open the door, you
That's a really
know?
good point. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, to say hi. Because if you're too close to them, they may feel intimidated, they won't even open the door. Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
great point. So we're sending flyers on a regular monthly basis.
Yes.
We're going out and we're knocking the doors and meeting the people.
Yeah.
So
Which
door knocking's working.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't wanna do it
Oh,
or
I know,
refuse
I
to do
know.
it, but
People hate to do
honestly,
it.
it works.
I
Mhm.
I say it to everybody, it
Yeah.
works, right? Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did that with I think the past 2 weeks I've been in front of 4 different audiences, I think it is,
Yes.
and I love asking that question all the time, right?
Yeah.
Who here doors knocks? Okay, keep your hands up if you see business, and everybody hands like stay up. A
Yeah.
lady the other day, literally when I was like, "Who door knocks and who sees business?" She went like with both hands, she put them up,
Yeah.
right? She just wanted to overemphasize like how
Yeah.
much opportunity she sees out of this stuff, right?
Right, right.
And you're right.
Yeah.
Most people don't wanna do it,
They don't wanna do it.
and
Yeah.
that's where the
Yeah.
opportunity comes from for
Yeah.
those that will.
Yeah. For me, I'd rather door knock than call because I wanna see somebody's face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find when you're calling people, they're easy to hang up, you know what I mean? Because they don't have to see you. They don't have to connect with you at all,
Right.
right? Yeah.
And so you've got the flyer going out consistently for you, something you
Yes,
don't even have to touch, deal with anything. It just goes.
it just goes.
And that sets you up with the opportunity to go and do the door knock.
Correct.
The door knock gives you the opportunity to meet somebody face to face. They get to meet you face to face.
Yes,
And then I imagine that, with the good conversations, there's a conversion process from taking that individual as like a complete stranger and moving them into the database,
right.
right? And then
Exactly.
what are you doing for the database? Because you said you're mailing some stuff to them.
Yep. Yeah, I
What
put
else
them
are you
in.
doing there?
Yeah, yeah, so I put them in the database,
Mhm,
the ones that, I've made a connection with and given me the information, and, they get the emails. They get the
mhm.
monthly emails, and, what else? Well, working on getting a second email out.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep,
try
yep,
to be a little more consistent with that,
yep.
and, what else? And then, I call them. Yeah, every now and then I will call,
Got
not
you.
every day, like, I have a
Yeah.
process. Yeah. Mhm.
But it's checking in with people and
Yeah,
kinda making the phone
right.
call and doing the personal touch
Yeah,
point,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
like a little
which
follow-up.
I yeah, exactly, which would almost be an extension, let's say, like, from the flyer to the door knock, it's like now
Yep,
you're in the database, I'm gonna make sure I make the phone call and stay in touch with you every once in a
yes,
while as well.
yes.
And then you
Mindshare.
yeah, well, that's right, I like that one,
Mm.
putting in mind share. Now, what about your social media? Because I know you're really active with social media. You post some great content. There's a lot of awesome branding.
Yeah,
I know that you spend time, going through and putting in effort to your social media channels.
yes,
First off, how much time does your social media take you? And I'm talking from like the content perspective, because you already mentioned like eating breakfast, eating lunch, you'll go on, you'll do your
yeah,
scroll.
yeah.
But what about the posting? What about
Posting.
the coming up with content, the execution of, like, being prepared? What does that look like for you?
I try to do that on Sundays because like you said, we got to prepare our day. Our week starts on Sunday,
Yep.
and I try to think what my day is going to look like for the week, and then from that, then I go into, okay, what can I post about what's happening throughout the week, and that's how I initially start my post. Like for example, today's International Women's Day, right?
Right.
So of course, you post something, little something about that happy, International Women's Day. And
Right.
it just, with the social media and their algorithms, you got to just keep consistent, with posting something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Has to be
Yeah.
something. And and you want it to be of value to your clients as well, right? Yeah, so I try to do that, quotes, things that happen to me, the gym, new listings, my clients, fun stuff like that. Yeah, travels. Yeah, I am
Yeah, because you've
human.
got you've got a good
Yeah,
mix with your stuff,
yeah,
right? Like, I know
yeah,
when again, if people following you, they can go to your Instagram and see where you're doing business, see
yeah,
where you're doing a content shoot,
yeah,
see where you're working out, right?
yeah.
So you've really worked in both sort of the business and the personal part of the lifestyle into it all,
Right, I have.
right? Now what about video? Because I know you use video as a big part of your mix,
Yeah,
and you've done
yeah,
some fun stuff with it.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's so
tell
funny
us
because
about yeah,
go
tell
ahead.
us about the journey with video.
Oh my gosh. I was horrified of doing videos. Like, I don't want my face out there. Like, I don't want to do this, But honestly, like I've gotten so used to it now, it's like it doesn't even phase me anymore. And um it works. Video works. It really does. You get more for some reason, the social media loves video and they seem to push your videos out more than any other of your content, any still content.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why try my hardest to do more videos as possible. Sometimes, life happens, and it's like you fall off of that calendar and you got to jump back on.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. And
Mhm.
so from a video perspective, like what was it that when you say about, you didn't want to put your face out there, you didn't want to go
Yeah.
out there, do your thing,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what actually got you to the point where you're going, I'm gonna do this, and
Yeah.
then once you're doing it, you find your consistency out of it. You find like where you're starting to get comfortable. But like what helped you kind of just break the barrier of like, I'm just gonna start doing this. I'm gonna put myself out there.
Um Trying to get more business. One of the videos I had done, someone sent me a message saying, I saw your video and I need help with purchasing a house. Can you help me? And that's when I realized, okay, so it does work. All right, so I got to do more of these videos, to generate more business. And that's how it all started. That's how it all started with me actually starting to do more and more and putting my face out there more, and yeah, I guess some people just have that connection and some people don't. Yeah.
So going through and doing the video once, doing it again and again and again, and then all of a sudden
Yep.
getting somebody being like, "Hey, I saw you on video."
Yeah. Oh
You're
yeah.
like, "Whoa, wait a second, maybe I should keep doing video."
I know. Yeah.
Is that
It's
is that
true.
that's kinda how it happened?
100%. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. So
Yeah.
now when we talk about that, how much time do you spend sort of in the production part of creating your videos? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, that can be time consuming.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Talk to us
Yeah.
about that. Tell tell
Sometimes
tell tell us, like, the process there.
okay, so if I'm doing it myself, like I'll have there's a camera on the desk and then I'll
Yeah.
shoot something,
Camera,
right?
like your phone?
Like sorry, like my phone. I do it on
Okay,
my
cool.
phone, yeah,
Yep.
and record it, and then I upload it, and then if I'm doing something outside, then I'll hire one a friend of mine, and he'll come and do some video work for me, and spice it up a little bit to make it more interesting,
Mhm, mhm.
because it is competition. It is a bit of a competition out there, right? So you want yours to stand out and people to see you, right? So yeah, sometimes you have to get a little bit of extra help with that. And
Right.
and I do that. I do that. But the majority of them, the videos created are from my cell phone on my desk and me talking into my phone. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then do you
Yeah.
spend a lot of time in the editing stage of what you do?
No, because I am not good at the editing
Okay.
at all. So that that leaves me to do retakes and retakes
Okay.
till I get it right because I'm just not into that editing
So you
thing.
go for that,
Yeah.
like, one w I mean,
One
it's not
one
one
perfection.
take, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like one full kind of like, "Okay, done.
Yeah.
We're happy with that
Yeah.
one. Let's
I'm
roll."
probably doing like 5, 6 takes. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, look, admittedly, sometimes, that's what we do because it's like
Yeah.
you start doing it and then you're like, "Wait, let me say it better," and then all of a
Better.
sudden by the,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
3rd, 4th time you did it, it's just
yeah,
rolling nicely
yeah.
now,
Yes, yeah,
right? But that's the behind the scenes stuff of, like, bringing
yeah.
this type of stuff to life, right?
Yeah, but sometimes the first take that you thought that was all the mistakes and all that was usually the best one. Yeah,
Listen, that
yeah,
that takes
mhm,
me back to, like, when that first person makes the offer and you're like, "No, we're going for more money," and then all of a sudden, like,
yeah.
weeks go by and you're like, "Shit, should have
Should
taken
have
that
taken that
first day," right?
offer. Yeah,
I remember doing that selling cars years ago,
yeah,
like, my
yeah,
own cars, I'd, like, sell them retail,
yeah, yeah.
classifieds or something, somebody would come in with, like, a low ball, and you're like, "No." All of a sudden, you're still sitting in the car 2, 3 weeks later, and all of a sudden, some people are coming in with, like, lower offers, you're like, "Man, I should have taken that first
Take
one,"
it.
right?
Yep, yep.
But, yeah,
Happens all
no,
the
it's,
time. Yeah.
now what about the results of video? Like,
Mhm.
what are your expectations? Because obviously you're not getting a deal out of every single video
No,
that you
no, no,
do.
no,
You're and sometimes people aren't saying anything about it, but, like,
no.
are you measuring, um, are you measuring it based on direct business? Are you measuring it based on views? Are you just looking to build the mind share with it? Like, what is your expectation of why you continue to be consistent with the video?
Actually, my first initial thought was to um, see how many views I can get.
Okay,
And then I realize, and with a lot of research, I come to realize that it's not the views. It's not all the views that counts. All it takes is one person, right?
that's right.
So even if I get like 3 people looking at my videos, it's better than nothing. And out of that three, one it could actually hit home with one person, right? And that's my goal, just to put out as much as I can, and hopefully I will attract that one person that we can connect. You know?
It's a nice way of saying that,
Hmm.
right? Like, it really just takes one person.
Yep.
It really does.
Yep.
Now, from that one person, when we talked to database, which we talked to a moment ago, we talked about the flyers and the door knocking, obviously conversion into the database. We look at social media, we look at video. It's obviously a mass type of marketing, right? Because we're
Yes.
putting it out there, we're putting it out there to a wide audience.
Yeah.
How much emphasis do you put on your database in a almost daily basis to help you generate new business?
I go through and I update. And I also look at who's even reading my emails too. Like this, the stats on that. You
Okay.
know, if they're not opening my email or you know what I mean, it's like I don't know how interested they may be, right? So I look at that. I also look at when was the last time I called them? When's the last time we actually had a conversation? Are they still looking for a house? Are they still thinking about it? All those things play a factor. And yeah, every day. I constantly look. If I don't look every day, then it's every other day when I get a chance to look at that. Yeah,
Would you say the database is like a big driver of business?
absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
That's
Oh,
where
yeah.
that's where a lot of consistency
Oh,
comes
yeah.
from.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would
I
say
think there's
80%. I would say it's high. That number is very high. Yeah.
and which is amazing, right? It's a
Mhm.
testament to what you're doing out there in the market and the way you're helping people and the experience that they're having working with you,
Correct. Yep.
right? So that database is absolutely huge, and most of your business coming from that database, 80%, as you said.
Mhm.
So if I flip this then and said to you, what advice would you give a brand new agent who just got into the business? What
Mhm.
would you tell them right now?
I would tell them, um, the importance of having a CRM.
Okay.
Every single person you have or know, you need to put them in that CRM. And that the CRM is to help with being in contact with them versus with either email, mailers, or telephone. So if you have their information there, and every time you speak to that person, you have to update the system because there's
Right.
no way you're going to remember. There's no
Right.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to have something in place where you can um, help to keep you organized. Yeah.
So what if they were
Yeah.
like, "Well, I use
Yeah.
my calendar on my phone, I use my phone book," and like, no,
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 no, no, no, it won't work
no,
that way. No,
no.
no, no. I've tried. Believe me, I've tried. Doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right. So it's
yeah.
gotta be a proper CRM
It
system.
has to be a proper CRM system. Yeah,
Cool. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And it's part of business. Yeah, it's a business expense. You're gonna have to pay something. It's a business
Mhm.
expense, so you have to
Mhm.
do it. And we need those business expenses anyway. So
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
well, and
yeah,
when you're working with a proper accountant, they will teach you
yeah.
all of these things.
Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, what would I tell a new agent? I also would tell them do a lot of training. You have to do a lot of
Yeah.
training. Yeah. There's just so much to learn and it's changing daily. So you have to find time to educate yourself. Yeah. Daily. Yeah. Whether it's a podcast,
Yeah.
whether it's reading a book,
Yeah.
going to a seminar, even, in whichever brokerage you choose to go to, make yourself readily available to go to those trainings. Yeah.
That's good advice. It's good
Mhm.
advice. I would double down on that, right? I talk
Mm.
about it all the time, feed your brain.
Yep.
Spend some time reading, spend some time doing something, educate yourself, learn, go study the market, find out what's going on, and don't do it through
Mhm.
Facebook groups, but go in and find
Mhm.
a number of different sources, not just one. And
Yes.
then once you sort of do a lot of reading, really break that down and make yourself understand. Like, I'll take this to a completely different place for a moment. I met this lady who is an absolute genius with NFTs.
Mhm.
And one thing she had shared, like I said, how do you do all your learning?
Yeah.
She said, and she's got it. She does a ton of business. Like she's big time with this stuff. But she said she's got a team,
Mhm.
and part of one of the tasks that she's empowered her team to do is to curate 10 articles a day that have to do
Wow.
about NFTs. Ten
Yeah.
articles a day, and send her that breakdown every day so that she could read it. So I'm like, so how much time are you spending? She goes, probably about 30 minutes a day just reading up on NFTs.
Mhm.
And so her team curates the content,
Mhm.
sends it to her, and then she just sits there and she reads. And that's what she does. And so bring this back to our market over here with real estate is same idea. You go through, you find 5 to 10 different sources daily, and you just
Yeah.
read like what is that?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
going on? What are the headlines saying?
Mhm.
What are the trends? What are people? What are the editorial saying? What are people's opinions about things? And the more we
Mm.
do that, the more we get able
Yeah.
to take it down and go, I agree
Yeah.
with that. I disagree
Yeah.
with this. Oh,
Make
look at
judgment.
that,
Yep.
put it
Mhm.
together, and we now have our own opinion on what's
Mhm.
actually going on out there.
Yep. Yep.
Now,
100%.
you
Mhm.
got marketing that's automated from it's going out there like on a regular.
Yes.
You are working your database like crazy. You've got, 80% referral business coming through.
Right.
Um, and with all of that, you've built out a system for yourself on how you operate in your days, right? And
Yes.
again, this is where this award-winning realtor title comes from for you. Now, what I think is absolutely amazing is when we talk about the fact that you spent a month at your vacation home in Aruba,
Mhm.
still closing deals on the
Mhm.
beach with like margaritas and palm trees and but seriously, how do you manage all of that? Because I think that is absolutely amazing. And like when we look at it too, and just before you answer that, like most people get into this business
Yeah.
and even entrepreneurship, small business, running your own thing because of freedom
Mhm.
and flexibility.
Yes.
Yet oftentimes what happens is we get so caught up in our day-to-day working in the business that we don't get that freedom that we were thinking we would have.
Yes. Mhm.
I believe strongly that by empowering time to manage us, that's where we can find those times, that freedom.
Mhm.
Um, you've really taken the bull by the horns on that one, and you've really found a way to be able to be not at home physically,
Yeah.
like on an island, really,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And still run your business.
Yes.
What does it take to do that? Like what's going on before you leave? What's going on while you're away? Like how are you managing client expectations? Do you just shut everything off for a month? Like I know you don't, but I'm saying
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
tell us more
Mhm.
about that because I think that most people would be pretty intrigued by that
Mhm.
because you're living
No.
it right now.
Yeah. No, I don't shut everything off. The main thing is communication with my clients. Like, I let them know that I will be away, and
Yep.
I have at, my brokerage, Remix Community, I have, a team of people that will help me when I'm away, right?
Okay.
Whether to show a property, obviously I
Yeah.
can't do that, but I with all the electronics we have in the world now, I can definitely communicate. Like, WhatsApp is absolutely amazing. Like, even for, video, if we need to do video, each other. It's incredible. And then also we have email, we have internet. Pretty much every island has internet, right? So uh, the communication has to be strong with my clients, and that's
Right.
how. And that's the main thing. And once we build that connection, they know I'm away. We communicate.
You do
And
tell them that you're away?
oh yeah, oh
'Cause
yeah.
like, okay, so what would you say to an agent who's like, "Oh, I don't wanna tell my clients that I went away."
Oh well, you're human. Yeah, like you need a break every
Okay.
now and then too, right?
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
You're not shy
No,
to tell
no,
people, "Hey, I'm going
no,
away. I'll be
no.
away."
Yeah, and you know what? I always bring them back something too. Yeah, whether it's a T-shirt or a little trinket, I bring them back something. You
Yeah.
know, and even if we're taking a break from the buying process, they just don't want to do anything, in the month of January or something like that. I'll say to them, well, I'll still call them and say, hey, how you doing? Happy New Year. Like I still keep in contact, whether it's an email, text, something, just so they know I'm away, but yet still
Yeah.
they know I'm still thinking about them, right?
Right.
Yeah, and
So
they
you've
appreciate
got
that.
you got people back here to be able to help you with anything that
Yep.
needs to be done, like, in an immediate sort of moment.
Yes.
Your clients know that you're away.
Yes.
You've got constant communication with them, so it's not like you're shutting off the phone, like, you are
Right.
you are there.
Yep.
I imagine you've also got your times while you're away that you're gonna take your time to enjoy,
Right. Plus they're still
right?
getting emails, my emails and my newsletters too.
See,
Yep.
there you go,
Yep.
right? So the
Yep.
marketing's still happening
Yep.
consistently.
Yeah. Everything is still rolling. Yep.
So, I mean, to me, that's part of where we would look at, sort of that definition between work-life balance. That definitely is right up there,
Yes.
right? Where you're actually taking time to enjoy life,
Mhm.
feeling not guilty about it,
Yep.
away for a month. So there's like a recognition of like, this is not a 7-day vacay where I'm just going to shut down and like not do anything. But instead, you're
Yeah.
like, I've got to be active with people.
Yep. I
And
won't lie. At first, I was a little bit. I did feel
apprehensive about it.
guilty. I did
Yeah.
feel guilty at first. Yeah, and then
What got you past that?
actually telling the clients the truth where I am. Yeah,
There you go. Cool.
yeah, yeah.
Is that
And that it just
interesting?
and it was just a relief. Yeah, yeah,
And people were like cool with it.
yep. They were cool with it. Or even if someone wanted to list their house, like I had that in January, this past January, and she said, "I'll wait till you get back.
Right.
I want you." Yeah, it's like okay, thank you. Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah,
Good for you. And you see, there's that trusted advisor,
yeah,
right? It's like,
yep,
no, I'll wait for you. Enjoy
yep.
your vacation. When you get back, I want you.
Yes. And I was at her house. Soon as I got back, the next day I was in her house staging. I got back at 11 o'clock at night. 10 in the morning, I was at her house staging, and we sold it in 4 days. Yeah.
And that all comes back to the scheduling that you've been doing to basically
Right.
to have yourself sort of,
Yeah.
under control for what's got to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know what I have to do.
Yeah.
Right. It's in your schedule. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That is so
Hmm.
cool. You see, like,
Thank
and no, I mean, I think, listen, it was important to bring this up because again, achieving that work-life balance is so crucial. That freedom, flexibility of why most of us got
Yeah.
into the business is so crucial.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of folks that really do get apprehensive about going away and
Yeah.
worrying about what's gonna happen with their clients and worrying about the fact if they're gonna miss
Mhm.
something, but you said it too, like, the access to technology and the fact that we do have the internet
Yeah.
pretty much anywhere we go,
Right. Mhm.
these devices over here, they allow
Yeah.
us to accomplish a lot from
Yeah.
a mobile perspective.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, anybody can do it. It's just a matter of understanding your priorities as well. Like if you got clients that need something, okay, you
Mhm.
can't all out shut down,
Right.
but much the same. I mean, it's not like you can't go back to Aruba or anywhere else
Mhm.
again,
Yeah.
right? And I think that that's the beauty of the business that we're in here is that we can pretty much operate from anywhere that we are as long as we stay disciplined to what needs to be done.
Yeah. 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 I 100% completely agree. I'm living it.
Well, congratulations to you. That is
Thank
super
you.
amazing to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Now, about geez, maybe it was longer than this. But say about 2 years ago,
Mhm.
you decided it was time to hire a coach.
Yes.
At that time, back then, before you hired a coach, what was it that you were struggling with or what was it that you were looking for, when we talk about, like, that added help?
Mhm. Yeah. Um, you know what you're supposed to do, but for some strange reason, you don't do it. I don't know what it is, what in our brains, as realtors, some of us, we know we're supposed to be making the calls. We're supposed to be prospecting. We're supposed to be doing this, doing that, doing that. And I think for me, my main problem was I was not scheduling. I wasn't
Mm,
scheduling properly. I was doing my schedules, but I wasn't doing it properly, you know? Like, even like I said to you the other day, or I can't remember what we were talking,
mhm,
even your car drive. Like, if it takes you an hour to get to a listing or, because of traffic or what, or the distance, that has to be all put into your schedule, you know? If you're listing at 333 Main Street and it's going to take you, 30 minutes to get there, but you don't put that 30 minutes in your calendar, it throws everything off. Yeah, and that was for me that was a hard thing to to comprehend for some reason. But my timing has definitely gotten better.
mhm.
That's for sure. Um, just I needed coaching with holding me accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah, holding me accountable. Yeah, because if I didn't have that, I don't think I'd be where I am today. I'd still be struggling. Yeah.
See, it's interesting, right? Because, like and you said this, we all to some degree need assistance somewhere,
Yep.
and I think for so many of us as well, being these entrepreneurs, these business people, these
Mhm.
individuals who go out and have success, it's almost like a shot to the ego
Mhm.
personally that, oh my God, I'm gonna go get help from somebody, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's like when you get past that way of thinking and you can
Yep.
see it for the benefits rather than the personal attack you're making on yourself,
Mhm.
it's incredible how you start to climb to new heights because 'cause you've
Yes.
got somebody in your corner who's really watching and looking
Yeah,
and
and rooting for you. Yeah.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's an
Mhm.
empowering thing,
Yep.
right? So once you and I think a lot of people are fearful based on that. They're like, "I don't need the help," or, "I can do it
Mhm.
on my own,"
Yep.
not recognizing that, like I mean, maybe I believe everybody has the ability to do,
Yep.
okay? And I say this all the time, but, like, yes, you can.
Mhm.
The reality is most of us, yes, we can.
Mhm.
However, we will a lot faster, a lot better, a lot more efficiently when we've got somebody there rooting for us, pushing us, helping us, holding us accountable. We will get
Mhm.
to those places we wanna go to faster,
Right.
right?
Yep.
Um, so once you decided, you're like, "Hey, I think I know what the challenge is here. I think I know what the issue is. I think I know where I want some help." What was your next step in starting your search to find a coach?
Um, what I did is I went online. I think I went online and I believe someone I knew you were coaching as well, and I got feedback from there as well. And then, then I did the coaching call to see
Mhm.
if, if there was that when you offer the free coaching
Yeah.
call, yeah.
Yeah.
And just to see if we, if there was a connection there, if if we could work together, if I liked your style, it not everybody is a fit. Not everybody's a
No, for
fit. So
sure.
you yeah, so you yeah. And yeah, and I found it was good. And then, year one, I saw the how things have increased and how well I was doing and being more consistent. And then year two, even better. So like, why would I stop now?
Yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that. And
Mhm.
it's interesting, right? Because like, something I probably said to you on that first initial call, like just that consultation call
Yeah.
was, I'm not Amazon.
Mhm.
I'm not delivering you a box tomorrow, right? You're
Right.
not gonna
Yeah.
get something that you can unwrap now that you get started with us. This is about a journey that we're gonna be on together to help get you to
Mhm.
that place you wanna get to,
Yeah. It's just
right? You
like the
remember.
gym.
Well, but that's what it I mean,
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
I make that joke all
yeah,
the time, right? Like, I
yeah.
go to the gym, I'm like, "Where's the six pack?" They're like, "Dude, you've been here for a day." I'm like, "I know, but still, no, it doesn't work
Yeah.
like that."
No,
And
no.
you realize it takes a lot of consistent hard work,
Yeah.
effort, and just keep pushing yourself and have that discipline. And like, admittedly, for me, the past couple of weeks of travel, I have not been to the gym.
Yeah.
I've been doing what I can to work out. Um, but I haven't been able to get to the gym the way I've wanted to, and it is eating me alive right
Oh,
now because how much I
no.
love getting over there, right?
Yep, yep,
So but it is a discipline. It is a
yep.
discipline. So, we had that call and you decided to move forward. And as you just mentioned, which I'm super pumped about, but like year
Mhm.
one, there was growth, year two, there's been growth.
Yep.
How do you feel about the conversations kind of like from call to call? What is that experience like? Just for anybody that obviously hasn't gone through that, what would you say that they can expect as we're sort of on those calls and then,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
going through the motions?
Well, the first thing you always ask me is, "How are you?" Blah blah blah, and then you go, "So, what are the wins for this week?"
Yeah.
Start with the positive, right? And then if we have any challenges, then we go through the challenges, and we talk a lot about the calendar. Everything has to be put in the calendar. Like you drive it and drive it and drive it and drive it. Has to be put in the calendar. Am I lying?
Yeah, yeah. No, no, you're bang on. I know there's a few people here listening that
Yeah,
are laughing too. They're like,
yeah.
"Oh, man."
and and then we go from there, like what else has to be done, what we need to do to get where I want to go from, because for my goals.
Yep.
And yeah, and basically that's how it goes. It all starts from the wins, and then we go from there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Mhm.
what about, the takeaways, the action steps? Are you finding that,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
each
Sorry.
call you've
Yeah.
got there's stuff to do
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
away from a call, like, there's
Yeah.
always different
Yeah.
things to focus on?
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. We always have to. Uh, I write down what I have to do for the week
Yeah.
till our next call, and what needs to be done. Yeah, the follow up, the the there's just so much things to do. Yeah, yeah, and with doing that, it helps you grow. And yeah, and I see the growth big time.
Well,
Yeah,
that is really exciting stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Um, do you find value in the ongoing text line together, like, in between the phone calls of just being able
yeah.
to have that ability to, like, send off a message and kinda,
Oh yeah, yeah. And not
tackle
only
anything
that
that's
too.
going on in the moment?
Not only that too, you send the emails as well. Like I get emails, the VIP.
Yeah.
Yeah, those emails, I find those are helpful. I read those all the time. Yeah,
No,
I
that's
like that.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a reminder to, okay, shoot, I got to get on that, or I got to do this, right? Got to get in the
Yeah.
calendar. Got to do this. Yeah,
Good, good.
yeah,
So it's sort of hitting from all angles, and
yeah,
so if anybody here was on the fence about, hiring a coach
hmm
and why they should consider, and I'd say, directly working with us at Mindshare 101, what would you say to anybody right now who's on the fence about getting a coach, about getting started, about, they've had the thought, they've
yeah,
entertained it before, and they're kind of going, I don't know, I'm not
hmm
sure. People talk about the expense of it all,
yeah,
right? And like I'm always, and I know it may sound totally self-serving to everybody, but I'm always talking about the fact that what you're doing is you're making an investment,
yes,
right?
yeah,
Because like not to talk specific dollars, Michelle,
Mhm.
for you, but if we
Mhm.
said, has the ROI paid itself back? Like, has
Yep.
it become an investment for you in a big way
Yep.
rather than expense?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Right?
100%. Yeah. Yeah. If anyone's on the fence, like, honestly, you should give it a good 6 months then, you know?
Yeah.
Give it a good 6 months. Try it out.
Try it
Doesn't
out.
hurt. Yeah. Doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of people are fearful, right? Like it's either that
Yeah.
ego hit for themselves,
Right. Yeah.
or it's like, oh my God, I'm going to put out money monthly.
Money.
And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's why I say like, and so everybody understands like, that's my whole thing of like, you're putting out money monthly. I
Yeah.
am not Amazon. I'm not giving you a box of anything, but
Yeah.
we are going to help tackle all of those challenges, all those processes, all that stuff that you want to get done. We're going
Mhm.
to work together on that in a very, would you say, very customized approach to it all,
Absolutely.
right? That will then help you get to that place that you want to get to. And it's only, as you said, in time, like give it that 6 month period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's how we start off, right? With everybody, we're like, listen, it's
Mhm.
6 months. Like we're
Yep.
not asking to commit for a year or 5 years or anything else.
Yep.
Like if at six
Yep.
months end, you're going, this ain't working. Okay.
Yep. Move
Most
on.
of the
Yep.
time, though, we know that most people go like, absolutely, like we're not going anywhere. We love
Mhm.
this, and it's working for me because they feel they're seeing the growth.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, and you learn a lot of little things because you meet a lot of different people too,
Yeah.
right? So, and your interview. So I grab from all that, try to absorb it all, to learn it all. Yeah.
Well, look, and you know this firsthand, and as do
Mm.
most of my coaching clients. I spend a lot of time on my own personal development.
Yes.
I spend a lot of time in my own personal networking.
Hmm.
And I do that to better myself so that I can then be in a better position for my clients. And that's
Right.
a daily, that's a daily, strive for me.
Hmm.
And every time I go away and I pick up something new, I want to bring it back. I want to share with my community, with you guys,
Yes.
right? To help make you better. And I feel like having my nose or my ear to the ground and connecting with these amazing people
Hmm.
allows me to bring back so much value for you,
Yeah.
that we can help you get to your next level. And hopefully we can expedite that process a little bit quicker than maybe other people who aren't coaching or who haven't got coaches that are as bought into their successes.
Right.
Right. And there's a ton of
Yep.
great coaches out there,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
we
But like
just,
you
we
said,
like,
not everybody fits with each other, right?
and that's the
Yeah.
thing, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like not
Hmm.
everybody's a fit for everybody. Like I'm not a fit for everybody. And quite
Yep.
frankly, there's people that I talk to that they're not a fit for me.
Hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Like we're going to spend a lot of, as you know, we're going to spend a ton of time together.
Yep.
We're going to have a lot of conversations. We're going to share a lot.
Hmm.
We've got to jive,
Yep.
right? We've got to jive together. And so it's real important that you find somebody that you connect with. But
Hmm.
no, I appreciate you sharing that stuff because I mean, you know, for anybody that is again, thinking about getting coaching, that is tuned in, that is looking for somebody, or maybe you're with somebody and it's not the right fit. These are all opportunities to try to do something different for yourself to have more
Hmm.
success.
Yep.
So, Michelle, end of the day,
Mm.
you talked about your evening routine.
Yes.
Um, but if I said to you at the end of every single one of your days,
Hmm.
how do you know it's been a successful day for you?
When I can lay back on the couch with my feet up and not have to, I'm not worrying about or thinking about something that happened throughout the day, where I can sit back,
Okay.
relax, and watch a movie, or I can go to bed with my read a book, listen to a book, and be comfortable and feel at ease. Then I know that's a good day for me.
What makes you feel at ease?
When all questions are answered, uh,
Okay.
everyone's found their property, everybody's happy with, just when my clients are happy. Yeah, when my clients are happy, I'm happy. Yeah,
Nailed it. Nailed
yeah,
it. Nailed it.
yeah,
Nailed it. Nailed it. It is
yeah,
about the client. It is
yeah,
about their expectations. I
yes,
love
yeah,
that. Their
yeah,
happiness. Powerful.
yeah.
Michelle, give us some final words. Anything that you could share with anybody tuned in right now to help them get out there, build some more mind share so that they can get more market share.
Sure. First thing, don't be afraid of video. You got to do the video,
Okay.
regardless. Times have changed. We're in a new era. You have to do video. Social media is here. If you want your business to increase, do video. Don't be afraid to door knock. And
Mm.
don't be afraid to also pick up the phone and get a coach.
Yeah. All right. Great words. So we said video, door knock, pick up the phone, and go get yourself a coach.
Yeah.
And with all that said, Michelle, I want to thank you sincerely for making the time for the Mindshare podcast
Thank
today.
you.
It was an absolute pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it, David. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You are there listening to this live. Maybe you're on one of your favorite podcast platforms, or maybe you went to my website, mindshow101.com. I want to remind you, while you're on the website, make sure to download your free copy of the Ultimate Marketing Bundle. This is our 31-page ebook packed with a 90-day social media content counter. It is completely free, so I want to encourage you to get that so you could, build that mind share so that you can get more market share. Also a reminder that if you want to talk about personalized one-to-one coaching, maybe an in-person keynote talk for your upcoming event, or possibly ongoing virtual training, just get in touch with myself, get in touch with my team. We will set up that consultation call that Michelle was talking about, and we will find out what you're looking to achieve and how we are going to help you do just that. Don't forget to leave a review of this podcast at www.ratethispodcast.com/mindshare101. And of course, connect with me on Facebook at Mindshare101 and on Instagram at David Greenspan101. I also want to take a moment here to thank Kits Keep in Touch Systems for sponsoring today's episode, as well as REM Real Estate Magazine and Gray Media Marketing. Again, some powerful companies. Visit them on my website, mindshow101.com, to find out how they can help you grow your business. This has been another episode of the Mindshare podcast. Thank you for tuning in.